Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Scope. And now, here are your hosts, Jared, Adam, and Shane.
Hey, Scope fans.
Hi.
Episode 193.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Great energy, folks.
Hello.
Great energy.
Hello. Hi.
Hola, senors.
I had this thought in my head.
You did.
All right.
Do we have an extra week off?
I feel like you've mentioned that sometime in the past. I don't remember.
I know.
We did have an extra week off because that guy over there had a little something happen.
We did. We'll get to that later in the show. It's not like a huge surprise. I got a whole list of agenda stuff here, Adam.
You have an agenda. That much was made clear
I just have one thing to bring up at
last
the top.
Friday night.
Well, before we get into anything, guys, I'm grouchy right now.
Oh, I know why.
And I don't want to be grouchy, but I can't help it.
You can't help it.
And I blame the internet. I blame society for it.
Okay. Yeah.
I blame the endless news cycle, Jared.
Oh, it's not even the thing I'm thinking.
And maybe
would
it
be.
is the thing you're thinking of. I'm blaming it's the weather, Adam. So
Oh.
we are
It is the weather.
we are
I'm confused. I thought you were gonna.
Polar vortex.
I thought you were gonna
Yes.
talk about Ferguson. Maybe you talk about election
No, no, no.
coverage,
Pointer Gate.
pointer gates.
I
There's
leave-
all kinds of endless news cycle things you could have brought up. Instead,
I
you
leave
went
that
your
to this
go-to.
guy. I leave it to that guy. Look at me, I'm in a gang. So Adam,
Shame on you.
with the advent of technology,
Yeah. When did that? When was that advented?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even know, but I have been following the first winter storm that's going to be hitting Minnesota. We're recording on a Saturday. This show will be out on Monday.
If we're lucky, we'll get this episode out on time. The snow might be piled
Yeah.
too high for us to get this episode out.
But it's coming, and it was interesting. Earlier in the week, you would see possible storm. You'd see some storm tracks.
I have to tell you, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Adam's getting
Okay,
his
well, I'm going
weather
to fill you
watch
in,
network
Adam.
now.
We are going to get hammered with a giant winter storm on
No.
Monday. It's very, very possible. It went from maybe some slushy inch or two,
Yeah.
not 4 days ago, to the storm track is starting to move north a little bit.
Oh,
We're more on the border.
Yeah.
Where it's it could be 3-4 inches, and now it has shifted. The latest weather runs have shifted the bullseye directly over the Twin
6
Cities.
to 10 inches.
6 to 10 to 12 inches,
Come on.
right over us.
What the hell?
And then we will be followed up by below freezing weather for the rest of the week. It will be cold. It will be. They are saying it is like January weather in November,
Well,
and if
I
any-
won't be here for most of that.
So we had a decently warm October, and now November is ready to just say, let's get winter started.
I think
we're,
that-
we're ready.
My event occurred on the last good day that we've had.
Yeah.
Even then, it was cold.
Yeah, but it was clear.
yeah, but
It was clear.
there was no worries. We're starting to see initial patterns, Jared, that seem ominously similar to what we had last year of this polar vortex bullshit. I hate even saying that because it just seems like some sort of stupid catchphrase.
It sounds like the summer of the shark.
I know. It's
But
ridiculous.
it's a thing that exists. It's always existed.
Yeah.
It just because we have a weakened jet stream due to various factors that are in dispute.
Yeah. It swoops
It's
down.
not in
It
dispute.
swoops down through Canada. The jet stream depending on where it sets
In the
up.
scientific community, it's not in dispute, but
Yeah.
depending on what your party platform is, it might be in
The
dispute.
new head of the Environment and Client subcommittee in the Senate disputes it.
See how we worked in politics? Just like
Nice.
that,
I love it,
easily.
guys.
Anyway, weakened jet stream allows that polar vortex to descend, dip deeper into North America, and guess who gets the worst of it?
We're right there.
We dip.
We are right on the battle
Yeah.
lines.
When you dip, someone else dips.
Yeah.
And then we dip. We dip.
And you have this weakened jet stream.
I dip, you dip, we dip.
You also have a similar flow where the jet stream does not change. It's just a constant repetition of cold and snow, cold and snow. You remember last year, Jared?
Oh,
I
do.
You were shoveling every day, or it was freezing. It was one or the other.
Yeah.
It was constant, and I so do not want that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love winters where, we can get past Thanksgiving, and then I can be a little bit more open to some snow. If we can get closer to Christmas, which we have had many a winters, Jared.
We've had brown Christmases, and they've been delightful.
Where you don't. Think about that for a second. Where you don't get that snow, you don't.
I'm not a
get that
Perry Como
inconvenience.
fan. I don't want a white Christmas.
So I'm grouchy about it. I can't help it. I really don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy obsessed about weather.
I bought a shovel. I bought a new shovel.
Nice.
I should probably
Okay.
see if my snowblower
Mine.
I started mine up this in anticipation for this.
I'm in shopping mode because mine sort of kicked the bucket last year.
Well, you better start shopping fast, bro, because they are going to be selling out like crazy.
Yeah, probably.
It's
So-
just upsetting because it's just so long. It's just,
I know.
Like sometimes people joke that it's like, oh, you got 4 nice months in Minnesota, but that's not typically true. It's really like 4 great months, 4 and then 4 bad.
Yeah.
But
But last year it was
it was
more.
6. It was like
it was
6 bad
half
months.
a year or it was bad.
Yeah.
I can't do it again.
Yeah. I mean, and people will say to you, "Why?
Is this you signing off from the podcast and moving to warmer climes?
Yep.
All right. Well,
I heard.
Why do you live in
good to have
Minnesota?"
you.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Well, because Minnesota's still a pretty great place to live, weather
right.
aside. But still, I think we totally earn our gripe and stripes.
One of the last liberal bastions in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, liberals win the elections here.
Yeah. What's wrong with the rest of you guys? Shape up.
Anyway, so you got the weather. You've got election results.
What's
What
your
else?
thing? What's your thing? I thought you had a thing you wanted to get.
Are
off
you
your
directing the
chest.
show now? Sweet.
Yeah,
About time we had
taking charge.
regime.
Shane-
It's about time we had regime change. I guess Shane's been voted out. Adam's been voted in.
Shane
He's
just
the-
barrels
it's
through.
the, it's
He
the
doesn't
Do
care.
Nothing podcast.
Yeah, elections hit. Results were pretty predictable, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
If you were paying any attention to who was covering polls and trying to predict where things were going, you knew what the results were going to be weeks ago. It wasn't a big surprise.
is the country in that bad a shape, Adam, that we need to swap out control? Or you're a smart guy. Tell us.
No, but the people that vote during off-year elections are the people that, are not the people that you and I and Jared are going to be
Sure.
the ones that have the most politically aligned with.
What I find interesting, and this just happened 2 years ago when Obama was voted in for a second term, there was a lot of prognosticators
Mhm.
that said, this is the starting of a new Democratic era.
Ha!
The Republican Party is done for. And we all know that is bogus. I mean, it's an ebb and flow to politics that is constant. It's existed in our parents' lifetimes. It existed in ours. It will exist in our children if we so choose to have them. Why does the media go out and say stupid things like that?
Because they have to make. Oh,
They
Sorry,
gotta
quiet down, Adam.
They got to get people to watch, and if that means fabricating a narrative that will get people to watch continuously for the next 2 years, then that's what they'll do. Republicans won because they're better at controlling the narrative and getting their message out. True or not, they're better.
This time
at it.
around, they did it.
They're better at it. They've got a lot more money, and they know, and they're also benefiting a bit from the 2010 census and the redistricting that they were able to do. They've put themselves in a better position to win elections. So, hey, there you go. I heard a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't know the exact quote, but basically it's sort of a reflection on our society or our country and our democratic process that really people kind of feel like the only recourse they have is to vote against the party in power if they don't like what's happening. And that's what happens.
Which seems to be a bit short-sighted.
It's dumb because it's not nuanced, it's not educated, it's not informed. It's just, I hear bad things are happening. I've believed whatever the message is being force-fed to me by the cable news networks and the talking heads on conservative radio or whatever outlet it is. And yes, America's going down the toilet. Therefore, I must vote against the party in power. Obama, Democrats, get them out of here. Okay.
Is America going down the toilet?
It's
Adam?
not. We just had one of our greatest. We had more jobs created than people leaving the job force in October. Jobs are on the upswing.
Wages
The
are not
deficit-
great, Jared.
Wages are not great, but you can't. I mean, this is a nuance thing. You got to look at the details. You can't look at just one
Sure.
metric and say that's indicative of everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
What was I saying? The deficit is actually shrinking, despite what the right wing message is. Obama is not above reproach. Obviously, he's got some issues with his foreign policy, how he's handling the Middle East, whether you agree with him not doing enough, not doing it fast enough, or whether he should be doing anything at all. Everyone's got an opinion on it, and nobody agrees on what we should be doing, other than building a time machine, going back and stopping the mess that George Bush created.
Are they working on that, Adam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're pretty close. 5 to
Okay,
10
good.
years.
Thank you.
You're
But
welcome.
let's be fair-
Dictator Obama will still be in charge by then.
Ugh.
I know you can't keep blaming George Bush, so we can go way back to the end of World War I when European powers decided to just randomly draw borders in the Middle East. That might be the root of the problem. So let's go back further and stop them from doing that.
I like it.
All right.
Perfect.
But if we do that, then we'll probably cause, one of those. What's it called?
Butterfly effect. Goddamn,
yeah.
Kutcher's going to get involved, isn't he?
Yes.
Adam might be the nice guy in the podcast if we do that. That
Right.
butterfly
That would
effect
be
all the way
terrible.
through. We don't like that.
No. The podcast would still exist.
Yeah, well, of course it would. This is set in stone. The scope will exist no matter what happens.
As they say in Doctor Who, it's a fixed point in time.
Thank you. Fixed point in time. Wow.
Yeah.
So there we go. Politics heavy on Jared's mind. Adam's a bit smitten right now. He's a lovebird.
No, I'm upset about all that too. I just, it's.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't fix it. We can only we can only understand that it's not as bad as people saying how bad it is. It's going to be, and hope that in 2 years we can straighten things out and do what you can in the meantime.
And I think we all can agree that the weather can kiss our grits, our collective grits.
Sure.
I've got a lot of grits for them to kiss, too.
Excellent.
Before you dig into the big event that we probably
Go.
want to talk about.
We got to take a break. We're not digging into anything right now. So
Is that in the news thing?
what's that?
When you talk about Adam's thing.
Oh yeah. Well, we're not doing news today.
We're not?
Why
no,
did
this
I
is
do news?
this is catching up with the scope.
Oh, I thought we were doing news.
Man, I did all this work for
Adam,
news.
you can pick out one news story. Go ahead, Jared.
I don't think I have a sound bit for that.
Just give us a random something or other. We can hum it.
What am I doing? What are we going on the show now?
We're gonna do catching up. I've got a list of topics.
Oh,
so
are we
catching
taking a
up with
break
the
first,
scope.
though?
Yeah, we could, unless you have something that's pressing right now.
No, I think the thing I wanted to mention is in part of the catching up.
Okay, so yeah, we'll catch up. Here's the
It's
thing.
a great show, guys.
We've had
live to tape.
We've had a very, very scope heavy past couple weeks, and I think that we would be doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't talk about it.
You're right.
Adam, I got a lot of stuff on here that's not even related to your big event, so don't worry.
I'm not.
I'm going to be gentle.
I can leave.
No, you'll stay.
No one's keeping me here.
You'll stay. You'll come up. You'll do it.
Will I be back after the break? You'll have to tune in and
All
find
right.
out.
So, Jared, you heard him.
Mhm.
Let's take a break.
Mhm.
Let's play a commercial, and then we'll come back with catching up with your scope hosts.
This is the Fump.
And we're not a perfect match, but we should take what we can get. For me, that's you. I'll settle for you.
Some whispering poem was calling us home to a place we know never existed. Rich fantasy lives.
Little Fisher, it seems like years since you mowed the lawn. Here comes my son, do-do-do-do. Here comes my son, and I say, you're stupid.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Everybody wants to be internet famous. Everybody want to be just like me. I'm famous.
Hey guys, we are back, episode 193. It's a fluid show, guys. There was expectations of news, but
It's
we're not
always
doing
there.
that.
We're not doing news, though. Screw the current events. We covered that in the A block.
Adam can pick his one favorite news story. We'll let him do that at the end of the segment we like to call Catching Up with Your Scope hosts. As I teased in the A block, that is the first segment of our show. That's very inside baseball. A lot of stuff has happened in the past couple weeks, and I figure we should break it down appropriately.
Break it down for me, fellas.
So number one,
Dice with buddies. Let's talk all about it.
Ha!
Adam is finally
Adam's
in with Dice with Buddies.
He's in.
He's struggling against me. He cannot take me down. How
I
are you
have
doing
a hard-
against?
Go ahead.
How are you doing against Jared, Adam?
My first game against Jared, it was my first game period, I think. And my first roll, I got Yahtzee. And I was
You're
like,
like, this is it.
I was like, I mean, this is a total scam,
This is it.
right?
Yeah.
Like, how-
Let me know.
I mean,
You're
smart
playing
of
Michael
them.
McDonald, apparently.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure I won that one.
Yeah.
I don't know, 500 cents
Yeah,
overall.
there are stats you can check.
Who looks at
verify
those
that.
things?
We do. It's very important. Why would you play it if you didn't check those stats?
Yeah.
The game definitely has some loaded rolls. It's amazing how many close games you can have. And trust me, Adam, when I talk about Yahtzee,
I'm playing right now.
when I talk about Yahtzee, I know Yahtzee. I know the odds. I've played a lot of games of Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Oh, IRL.
They're
Yahtzee.
just not that close. They don't play
No.
that way. The multiple Yahtzees that you get in this game, or five of a kind as they call them, it's not It's not really reasonable.
Obviously. I have a 40% win ratio right now out of 5 games played.
Well, let me take a look at mine right now. Jared, what are you at?
Acing it right now.
51%, I believe.
I think I'm in.
I had a claw because I had a rough start, and I was like in the
Yeah.
20s and 30s when I first started playing. But I've gotten better.
I just lost a game right here.
Good.
Let's check this out.
Welcome to the Scope, your Dice with Buddies podcast.
I can't find it.
Can we call this the
Go to a game. Go to an active game.
If
and
we
then
had a
click on your
Yahtzee
name at the
/
top.
Dice with Buddies podcast, what would you call it? The roll?
Oh.
Say again?
You're so into your game.
Yes, I'm looking for
If we had a Yahtzee podcast or a Dice with Buddies podcast, 54%. I see it from here because you have a
54.
giant phone now. What would you call it? Would you call it the roll?
Yeah.
I would call it Rollin' with
Yeah.
Jared, Shane, and Adam.
All right. Here we go. Podcast.
How does Adam get that last spot? That really angers me.
Podcast
Jared, Adam,
Network.
and Shane is how it's
JSA,
always
Justice
been.
Society of America.
Okay,
That's us.
that I might buy into.
All right. Can't argue with that.
So Dice with Buddies, Adam is in. It's taken a while. We're happy about it. We're
That's
happy
pretty
for
much
him.
all that's happened.
My favorite part is having a scratch on or a chance on the first
Put that
roll
away.
of the game.
Number
All right,
2,
I'm done.
Palmersheim household has a new addition.
Hold on.
What's
There, he
going
found
on in the life of the most elusive Scope host? Let's take a moment and catch up with Shane.
It's a very clean edit there.
That's good.
Yeah, that's delightful. So number 2, we have a new addition in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Adam knows about it. Jared's met her, I think. Have you met the new
Yeah,
Adam?
we stopped over after the wedding.
That's right. We've got a new little kitten in the house. My daughter has been working on me for 2 flipping years to get this animal.
Mm-hmm. You already have how many cats?
We have 2 cats.
Okay, prior to this one.
Yep.
You had
Those
2.
2 don't get along terrifically.
They get along with people?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're great pets, but they don't. Sammy likes her space.
Yeah.
She's the older surly cat, but she loves people, loves me. And then there's Turk, the big boy, the 19-pound cat, who is a bit of a brute and a bit of a dolt. So my issue with getting another cat would be it's going to make Sammy's life much more miserable because now she's got 2 stupid animals to deal with. And Carrie said over and over again, "Oh no, those 2 cats the new cat's gonna bond with Turk and they'll leave Sammy alone." And that's what I've read. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. So a week and a half into the process, since Carrie does not listen to the show, I can say this without any sort of repercussion. Pretty much that has happened. Sammy runs away and hides, and the new kitten, appropriately named Miss Elizabeth, after Macho Man Randy Savage's.
R.I.P.
Yeah, both of them R.I.P.
Yep.
His manager /
Ring lady.
ring lady. Miss Elizabeth has taken a shine to Turk, and she will, as soon as she sees him, she starts purring, and she runs up to him and rubs around him. And initially, she tried to nurse on him, which he did not like. He was uncomfortable with that. But now they've gotten to the point where he'll clean her and they'll wrestle and he'll bite. Sometimes you're scared that this giant cat, which Miss Elizabeth could probably fit inside 4 or 5 times because he's so giant, that he's just going to bite hard and break her neck. But knock on wood, that has not happened. The only bad thing for Sammy is that Miss Elizabeth, for whatever reason, has taken a liking to sleeping on the bed with Carrie and me when we go to bed in the evening. And Miss Elizabeth likes to sleep in Sammy's spot. So poor Sammy does not fight for it. I'm like, you got to fight for it. You got to this is your spot. Don't let her push away.
She's more content just to ignore her and walk away.
Yep, she'll walk away. Now, this last evening, Sammy was cold, and as she often is in the winter, and so she will go under the covers next to me. She did that, and then the new cat was very curious about that, so Elizabeth started walking on top of her, and you could just hear Sammy. I mean, she sounds like Marge Simpson when she gets angry. And then eventually she just gets up and runs away. So
Careful with your hand slap on the table there.
Sorry, cat in the house.
It's a rough life for that Sammy.
Yep. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that as time goes on, there will be, they can share a more centralized space together without just the cat static, as I like to call it.
How old is Sammy now?
Sammy's 13, I think.
Okay.
So she's getting up there. Writing that down, cat static, because I might use that to name my new band. Okay.
Nice.
So we've got cats. Before we get into the big event, let's talk about something that we have been meaning to do for years and years and years, which is we have finally had a recording session with Sir Tony Partington.
Oh, yes.
He came in this past week.
I wish I had some bits to share with you.
And he was here for a good 2.5 hours, Jared.
Yes, he was.
For those that don't know, who is Tony Partington?
Tony is our in-house announcer. When you hear that manly voice that introduces our show, he introduces our bits.
No one introduces my bits.
catching up with Shane, for instance. That is Tony Partington. I call him the connective tissue of our show. He gives. There he is.
Help!
That's
Please.
Jared's favorite.
They've locked me in a box.
So we've got a lot of use out of a couple of different recording sessions we've had with Tony, but we figured it was time to.
Well, it's been 8 years.
It's been 8 years. It's been a
2006 is when we had him in last.
And the other thing is Tony is moving to Florida. He's getting out of this hellhole. He will be here for this snowstorm, so he's not happy about that.
Yeah.
But they are moving to warmer pastures. I wouldn't say if they're
Is this like a retirement move? Is there a reason for this?
It's a quasi-retirement. He's got family down there, but I think he fully expects to work. He's got some health issues that the cold weather makes it harder for him to be here. So he's moving down to, I think, northern Florida. So
Good luck.
Take that for what it's worth, but at least it will be warmer.
Is that the Panhandle they call it?
I think it's somewhere in that area. I'm not sure. I'm gonna hopefully have dinner with Tony on Monday if we're not snowed into our house, and
It's either the Panhandle or Jacksonville. Those are your northern Florida
There you
options.
go. I guess I'd rather be in Jacksonville.
It's all right.
It is a town.
At least you have a football team.
Yep.
Well, for now.
I mean, it is a team technically.
Well, I mean, you might have to start flying to London to see them play.
Is that the rumor? They're going to be a London team?
They're
perhaps?
one of the teams that's rumored about.
I'm not going to get too deep into NFL, but I think a London team is a terrible idea.
Of course it is. You know what else is a terrible idea? Covering up one of your running backs' ridiculous assault on their wife. They still may have done that.
Who's that?
Ray Rice.
Oh, okay.
Covering up concussions for decades.
So Tony was in.
Tony was in. It was a great recording session. I think we've got a lot.
Change the name.
We've got a lot of material, Jared.
Yeah, we do.
And
We have an awful lot of material. A lot of him saying,
Let's hear him out. Just play him right now.
I don't have the session open. I can't do that for you.
He can't get to it.
The whole thing.
But trust us, Jared is hard at work. Wink. Hard at work of figuring out how this stuff is going
get
to
it
play
all
into the
done.
show.
You know, it's one thing. We've got all these lines, and I know how they will fit together with the audio part, but then you've got to put production behind it.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
And so that takes a little bit of work.
So it'll come as it comes. And a lot interesting thing, we had Tony record a lot of stuff that was just, I called it the shotgun approach, because we don't know. We don't know if we're going to need it. But I wanted to have it on digital tape, Jared.
Yes, digital tape.
That's
zeros and ones.
Yeah.
And I want
I use a
just in
use a
case.
Sony 24-track digital tape machine.
Love
it. I got it from an old recording studio. Some say it's an antiquated method,
Real
but
to
I
real.
like the warmth of it.
He loves it. Oh, one other thing we should talk about,
No.
that another scope thing. God, there's so much scope
I
stuff
know.
in the past week.
Busy
is that we were on another podcast, Jared.
We were.
We did sort of plug it on the show.
What's going on in the life of the most elusive scope host? Let's take a moment and catch up with Jared.
Oh, he loves
Sounds
it.
like he's scolding you.
All right,
Jared, what
great.
have you done?
I figured this would be the moment to play that one because I was the person who set this up
Yeah.
and did most of the talking on the show. So we were on a podcast called Show Me Your Mic, which is a podcast about podcasting. Basically,
Very meta.
podcasters come on, they talk about how they make a show, the equipment they use, and all that sort of stuff. With it's on the where are my notes here? The Good Sounds Network. Chris Enns is the host. So it's goodstuff.fm/SMYM if you want to check that out. We are the most recent episode 57. And this was Tuesday morning. He had put out a call via Twitter, I think. Yeah, that must have been where I saw it. Saying he was trying out this thing where you can just book an appointment to be on the show. So he was looking for people in November. Now he's looking for people in December. So if you're a podcaster who's reasonably established, and you want to join in, go to that goodstuff.fm/SMYM. There's probably a link there to try to get yourself booked. But I did that, booked ourselves an appearance, and we were on the show, Shane, via Skype. Apparently it's broadcast live,
Yes.
streamed live, but also released as a podcast later. It was up later that day. In fact, within like an hour it was up.
Yeah.
So
There was a lot of technical talk, Adam. You listened to the
I
show.
listened to it, yeah.
You felt we did a good job?
Yeah.
We represented the show well.
I mean, Jared and the host, talked a lot about
Yes.
the technical details.
it's pretty amazing what Jared knows, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I was listening. I was like, wow, there's a wealth of knowledge that he has. We're lucky to have him.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I was surprised at at the reaction, I guess, to the fact that we do this, in a single room.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's
it was a big surprise. He was excited to talk to people who do it that way.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's rare.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he talked a lot about how you have people all over the world. You know, there one's calling in from Manitoba, and others from Jacksonville, Florida, for instance. if you
They
wanna
don't
take
have the
that.
internet
Yep.
there.
Yeah,
he's
and-
had people on who do podcasting from Israel.
Sure.
But all these people are via Skype. They don't, they're not in the same room.
Yep.
So
I think Chris was impressed by the timing and rapport that we have, that especially you get when you are all in the same room. And we explained to him that the idea of the show is to recreate a radio show. That's the whole idea. So you want to feed on that energy.
We have an idea behind the show.
We did.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
way back when,
Interesting.
I,
can
think,
play
I think we forgot about it like 2 shows after, but
it became a lot of work. So we sort of streamlined, as you said.
yes.
Anyway, if you're at all interested in the sort of the technical behind the scenes stuff and how we put the show together, put the show together.
Put the show together.
How we put the show together, the equipment we use, stuff like that. He was very interested in the video side of it and what we've been doing on YouTube, which is,
Yep.
for us is just sort of an attempt at trying to broaden our audience, but we definitely get into the audio side of it too. So, hey, check it out.
Check it out.
goodstuff.fm/SM/57. That is us.
That is us. So we covered cats, we covered podcasting, we covered Tony Partington. But I mean, really, the past week has been all about the third host. That's Adam.
What's going
And a lot
on
to get
in the
down.
life of the most elusive scope host? Let's take a moment and catch up with Adam.
Oh, I was
Wow,
thinking
that was
it would
nice.
It'd be catch up with Adam.
With Adam. Yeah, Adam. It was pretty much the week of Adam, or for me at least. I dealt with a lot of people in the orbit of Adam. So that was
Are you
kinda
saying
cool.
that Adam is now like a dwarf planet?
Celestial body, please.
I think he has a celestial
Celestial body.
Very sexy.
Got
Thank
it.
you.
So for those of you who don't know, Adam has been planning his wedding. We've teased him about it, and it finally happened last Friday. And then we follow that up with the Scoper Bowl 7 just a couple days later, where we went out and kind of that post-wedding glow.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the Washington Redskin football team battle the Vikings in an outdoor stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to that, let's
Let's just not even talk about
Let's
that.
circle back to the wedding. Adam, it was Jared and I were not at the actual exchanging of the vows, which is fine.
Where did that take place, by the way?
Right there,
Right
where
there.
the bonfire was.
Oh,
Right, we did it right outside.
sexy.
So
I'm assuming you were surrounded by your photographers capturing every moment.
So you're gonna have a lot of good photos to share.
Yep.
So yeah, it was. Adam had his wedding at a local eatery that also has bowling alleys and bocce ball and it's sort of, I don't even know how you would describe it other than like upscale. I don't even know. It's just
It's an upscale, not even that really.
Yeah.
It's a mid-tier restaurant that has an upstairs with ballrooms.
Yeah.
Small ballrooms.
They host different events.
Yeah, they have a lot of businesses. That
So if
do
you have a
their
large
things there.
ball, you probably don't want to use one of the
Right.
rooms.
Yeah.
Well, if you get all 3 rooms together, then you'd
Oh.
be fine. If you have for a large to
So you
celebrate
could
a large ball.
combine rooms to fit your large
Yeah,
ball
in fact,
inside.
we combined 2 of the rooms.
What about a
Oh.
cotillion? Could you do a cotillion?
No, cotillions can't be held there. Impossible.
Is that some sort of zoning regulation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Edina doesn't actually let you.
Cotillions need some sort of open air. They need
Yeah.
more space outside.
until recently,
And you
not
need to have
recently,
space
but
for the polo match.
until
Yeah.
like 20 years ago. Edina had very strict liquor laws. You couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
There were no bars. It was like beer and wine only until like 94.
Yeah, they
or
had
something
to.
ridiculous.
Yeah, Edina's a bizarre. It's a suburb of Minneapolis, known for its old money, and it's a very bizarre place. Southdale, the first indoor shopping mall, is there
In the whole world.
in the whole world. So we
Entire
do things
world.
there.
Sorry, Mumbai.
So Adam, let me. So
I'm not sorry, Mumbai. I
me-
don't care about this Mumbai apologist over here running the board.
he loves it. So the thing that I liked about your wedding reception, one Friday night, you had it on a Friday night.
Boom.
That is so you know that this isn't going to be an all day event,
Right.
However, it was on Halloween, so
it wasn't Halloween, but
complicated for some people.
yeah. What are you going to do? You actually
I don't
had,
care about those people because those people are children, and I don't care.
and those
about them.
people were actually a lot of children
Truth
came
comes
to
up.
your
Yep.
came to your wedding.
You had candy for them. That was
uninvited,
nice.
completely.
Did you have
uninvited.
candy for those kids?
Yeah. They had
Yeah, by the photo table there was a bowl of candy.
And-
Oh, that's why
um,
I stuffed all that in my pockets.
some of
so there wasn't any candy
some
there for
of
those
Mandy's
kids.
friends. They made like goodie bags for all the kids.
Very
How
nice.
thoughtful.
So Adam, number 1, Jared.
Yes. I like how you counted off with your pinky first.
It's very
Is that some
European.
sort of
It's
colonial
a Friday
thing?
night, or you could go like this.
Oh,
You don't start
You
with
don't-
one?
you don't. Is this a Minnesota thing?
Well,
What if we all did
if
this?
you go like this,
What if we did that and pointed? Would that be?
I will tell you, if you're in Germany and you say I want 1 beer, this is actually considered 2. This is 2. Thumb is your number 1.
Note to bartenders everywhere. I
And it
want
goes
1
to
beer.
So
I really mean 2.
So right here on my thumb, we've got
Yes.
Friday night
One for
wedding
the thumb.
reception.
That's when you get your 5th Super Bowl.
I got to write that down. 1 for the thumb. I like that. So Adam has a Friday night reception. Next thing he does correctly, Jared, which is what we did at our wedding.
Yes.
There's no dance. There is decent music playing in the background.
Somebody, and I'm not saying one in Germany, somebody was sad that there was no dancing.
Well, she can go out and go to the clubs and have fun with that. But at Adam's wedding,
Are you talking about God?
he's pointing at God.
God, Alanis Morissette was very upset. There was no dancing.
Alanis Morissette.
Yes.
All right.
That was a reference to, what was that movie?
The Kevin Smith
Dogma.
movie. Dogma.
Dogma.
Yeah.
So there's
With
no
the lady
dance.
No
Adam
dance.
keeps.
I'm fine with it, by the way.
Adam keeps the speeches to a minimum.
They were good. I was honestly surprised at how well spoken your wife is. I did not know that she was so eloquent.
Yeah.
And I was also surprised how
Not that
poorly
that's-
spoken you were, considering you've been doing podcasting for years.
Yeah. I script all this stuff.
I enjoyed
You're
your
fine.
remark about the best hair contest and how you immediately said that she was the winner, and then I think you took it back for yourself later on.
You just grabbed it right back.
So
Number
it's a nice moment.
number 3.
Yes.
Uh,
What's that in Germany?
Good.
That's-
3. This is 3. The thumb goes back in. You go this
Doesn't
way.
make no sense.
Number 3. Good food.
Good.
I was not a fan of the chicken sandwich. I'm going to be
Okay.
honest with you. It was a little too like onion and peppery because that's not my thing. But
It's
the
spicy.
the
Well-
sliders were good, Jared.
I tried to eat grilled vegetables, and then I discovered they were cold, and I was like, I'm done.
I thought the
Sorry.
grilled vegetables were fine.
I don't-
I like the sliders.
I don't like cold. Like, if it's hot, why do you make it cold again? What's the deal with that? Somebody explain that to me.
It's crispy. I don't know.
I'm sure it's
'cause
a-
I like cold vegetables more than hot
I'm sure it's a
vegetables.
culinary thing.
One of the best things.
culinary.
I
Culinary.
can't stand carrots raw, but cooked,
Right.
then chilled carrot, excellent.
They were delicious.
I would have preferred them hot, but that's fine. That's not you. You didn't do it yourself.
You
It's-
guys actually missed the best food item because right after the ceremony we had small food come out, and there
Mhm.
was the best coconut shrimp.
So we
I've
get
ever
we
had
get the
before.
I don't
leftovers.
care about
Yeah.
shrimp.
Somebody at one of the tables had a pizza. Did you have to buy that separately if you did that?
If you were gluten free, you were given permission by Mandy to
I
order
should have lied.
off the gluten free menu.
I should have lied.
Oh,
well.
that's why the gluten-free menu was at the table.
Yeah.
Got it.
Gotcha. So not only did you have decent food, you had a decent mix of drinks.
Mhm.
And was it just beer and wine that was free? And then you had.
Everything was free.
Why did I not know that?
It wasn't because I paid $11.50 for my old-fashioned.
Okay, everything.
Oh, there we
under,
go.
Everything under $8 was free.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh, geez, Jared, you should have got.
That's an expensive drink.
Jared
was-
got top
was
shelf
it good?
liquor. Top
It
shelf
was all
liquor.
right.
Okay.
It's all right.
And then the other part was like 18 different kinds of cake. I think you told us there were going to be 4 cakes.
No, I said 7.
Did he
There were
say
7?
So let's name them.
Okay, pumpkin cheesecake.
I did not have that.
That was the best.
I should have had that.
Apple almond.
I had that. I was all right.
That was okay. Turtle.
I had that.
German chocolate.
I did not have that.
Flourless chocolate.
Did not have that.
Had that. It was great.
Lemon.
I had the lemon.
Nope.
I'm gonna forget the last one. I can't remember the last one.
Was there like a berry or a
No.
white chocolate or
No, because Mandy can't have berries. So
was it a caramel?
No.
Did you say carrot?
Oh, carrot. Yes. Carrot.
I was the one that threw the carrot on the floor. But what was ever there, I just smushed it right
it
on
was
the
the
floor.
title of the episode where we talked about the pre-wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there raisins in the carrot cake?
Right.
That's
There-
how I remember.
That's right. That was the 7th. Was carrot cake.
And that was definitely a case of my eyes were bigger than my stomach because the pieces
Yes.
of cake were not cut. So I was trying to cut them myself, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to get a little sliver. But if you get a lot of little slivers, you just end up having a giant. I should have taken a picture of my cake pile. It was a giant cake pile.
Even because they had little guidelines carved in the top. Even if you follow the lines, you
That's
still
a
got
giant piece of
You
cake.
still got a pretty good portion.
You got to do like a third of the guideline. That was my goal.
I had the apple almond one, and I had the flourless chocolate one. The flourless chocolate one was very dense and very rich and very freaking good.
That's how I'm described oftentimes. Dense, rich, and freaking good.
Yes.
So yeah, Adam, you did a lot of things right.
All right.
Jared and I played a game of bocce,
We did.
Okay. How'd you do?
I started great early on, and then
and then Shane locked it down.
found that when he whatever we're going to call it the snitch because we don't know what it's called.
This
the
giant
little-
silver
the little metal
snitch ball.
It's the cue ball, but
Cue ball.
Jack. The Jack.
Sure. Whenever Shane discovered that if he placed that further away from the back wall, he was much more accurate in that zone than I was. So that's how he claimed his victory. If it was further back, I had a better chance at it. So
It was all about control. You only thought you had it, Jared.
I know I didn't have it.
Then we did a little bowling.
Yeah.
I was
almost finished a game.
Almost finished a game. Having a hard time finding a ball that was light and had big holes.
Right.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you want that in a lady, but a ball, you also want it.
I don't want my lady with too many big holes. That's all I've got to say. It's a little disturbing.
All right.
So I enjoyed
This is
that,
going well.
and it was nice.
This is going well.
I got to. A lot of people I used to work with were there. It was nice. Everyone was happy. There was no bar fights.
What was great was
I
that
knew 3 people there.
Yeah, but you did all right, Jared.
I hung out with Angela.
all right.
So Isaac, who
Yeah.
worked with us and then worked with me a second time.
Yep, and he's
was
worked on
there.
the Scope Show as well.
That's right. He was there because people that I work with now got to razz him for quitting after 3 weeks at my.
So this was a long con.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm going to
All
invite
part
him
of the long con.
specifically so people can get some payback.
Yeah. So that was fun. It's always fun to give him a hard time about that.
Well, speaking of the long con,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot talk about Adam's wedding without, and I'm not going to get into details of the conversation that we had with your mom because that's the long con right there. But I found it interesting that
Did you go home and write notes so you didn't forget anything?
I don't really have notes, but I think it'll all come back to me.
Okay.
But I find it was interesting that Adam did not want us to talk to her. I think that was legitimate. Like you were just hoping that maybe we wouldn't cross paths.
It wasn't
No,
like a comedic, oh, guys, don't talk to her.
I mean, you weren't keeping her away from us, but I didn't want to make you uncomfortable, so I wasn't even going to ask who your mom was. I just let the speech. She stood up and made a nice speech
At
about
some
her
point,
son.
she would be identified.
Yeah, it would come up, but it was like Adam came and sat down by us at our table, and then it was like this cosmic thing where your mom just swooped in and sat down and started talking, and then we sat and ended up talking to your mom.
It's
who
not cosmic. My mom always talks.
Really?
She's
That's
always
her thing?
talking.
Shane had to wipe his mouth because he was salivating at the opportunity.
Well, yeah, I certainly wasn't going to use it as an opportunity to gather information on Adam. I was genuinely curious about your life and sort of your history. I've known you for a long time, and you tend to avoid that. You don't really, there's
Sure.
a public and a private persona of Adam. So it was nice to see a little bit of Adam as a child and not filtered through the scope filter that we have.
Sure.
But your mom is a very, very nice woman.
Of course.
Had a lot of nice things to say about you. Is it true that she did not know that you did a podcast when she said she didn't know? Or have you told her in the past? Because that one sort of startled me because
it's very highly likely I never told my mom about the podcast.
are you embarrassed? I mean, that sort of hurts me. Are you embarrassed by us? Are you ashamed of what you do?
You don't understand. I don't.
You don't have that kind of relationship where you just
I mean,
you talk
yeah.
on the phone, but
Yeah.
you're not going through your day-to-day stuff. So okay. Yeah, but she was a very
You
sweet.
should not be hurt by it. I guess is my main point.
I'm gonna write a note down. I am hurt by this.
I mean, you said
I'm
you were.
hurt by this. But overall, I have to say, Adam, it was a fantastic wedding. You guys put on a good show. You got the length just right. You had a nice little photo thing that you can do, sort of like we took a nice little prom picture where
We noticed. Yeah,
Jared's was
we
the best
appreciated
picture.
that.
I got the face right.
And it's nice. And the other thing is that Adam, oftentimes, Jared, can have a little bit of little snark to who he is. But I think that, an event like this, you see a genuinely happy, this is not a time to be snarky, even though we know it's there. But I mean, I think you were appreciative of everyone that was there. You liked having people around you that you cared about, and except for us. And
Were there-
people that
were
cared
there-
about you. So it was really nice.
I
It was
wouldn't
a
have
nice
invited
event.
you guys I don't believe in a courtesy invite.
I
So,
appreciate that.
Was
guys-
there an order behind the scenes for Manny to keep the snark to a minimum?
No, not at all.
That was Adam. Just is a grown man who knows the right time and
He
place.
does it. He steps up when he
I'm
needs
amazed.
to. I'm
There's
amazed
always
with
this-
Adam.
This should not surprise you. We had no sort of like, all right, make sure you're doing this. Like, don't drink more than whatever.
Yeah,
you guys
don't need that
So what
stuff.
you're saying is you guys are both mature adults who
Yep.
know
Yeah.
how to handle your shit.
Right. If one of us needed to do that for the other one, we wouldn't be together.
Yeah,
We would
that's
not have
perfect.
time for it.
I don't like relationships where one person is the parent of the other.
Right.
That always
Yeah.
bothers me.
Don't need it.
I don't feel like either one person just isn't grown up and shouldn't be in a relationship, and that other person who is the parent probably shouldn't be in that relationship.
Both should
So-
be whiny children that want everything for themselves.
Yeah.
And
No. I'm just saying you should
Oh,
both
wait,
be
no, that's
mature
me. I'm
adults who are capable of managing your own lives.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't be codependent to a certain extent. I don't.
I agree.
well, before we move on to the Scoper Bowl, I do want to ask one question about it.
Sure.
This is
Whose gift was better? All right.
now. Did you did gift openings?
Yeah.
I hope that we gave enough. I don't know what the standard is.
0 is enough. I mean,
Okay, well, it wasn't. Audrey's not going to college, but good. You can buy a controller, PlayStation controller now at Target.
They're that expensive now.
They're very expensive.
Wow.
But let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Before you got married that Friday morning, were you nervous at all? Honestly, I mean,
about getting married.
just about the whole. I mean, not like, oh my God, am I making a mistake? But just the
No.
fact that this is a landmark moment in your life, even if
There's only one chance to get it right.
you guys, I mean, everybody talked about how Adam and Mandy, they weren't really surprised that you took so long. It was like you guys sort of do things on your own. You're not bound by labels and the way the world works.
Mm-hmm.
So, people maybe were surprised that it went quickly. You sort of set this up fast, but at the same time, not really.
Right.
So were you a bit nervous about stepping into something like this? I mean, just the whole process.
No.
Or is it just as like, hey,
It was
we're doing it and we're fine with it, and that's
right.
that.
I mean, I think both of us have felt like, even though we're not, we were not
Yep.
legally married. It's like we're basically married.
Sure.
We own a house.
Do you have a joint checking account?
No, we don't.
You're separate. So
Yeah,
how
like
do you?
that.
I mean, Howard
I
Stern
don't-
recently went over bills, like how you pay bills with Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you guys pay bills? You sit down every week or once a month and break down bills, or do you have certain bills that you take care of? And
Yeah,
certain bills?
I take care of cable and electric and stuff like that, and she takes care of water and like it evens out.
What about the mortgage?
One of us sends the other one money through Google Wallet or a check or whatever.
Gotcha. So you can spend the rest of your money any way you want to.
Yeah. At some point, we will set up a joint account just for mortgage, or
Smart.
bills
Smart
or
move.
whatever. But like we don't care. It's
Smart move.
neither one of us has gotten to the point yet where our gambling habit, which is
Yeah, I can pick up.
I mean, I don't have a ring on right now because
I understand.
it's at the pawn shop.
Smart.
Oh,
I
that's
need it
tough.
for my
Those
scratch-
scratch-off cards. They're expensive these days.
Scratch
so
off
no, I would
that's a
say-
tough investment, man. I'm just gonna say.
I
not
was
sure
It's going to be the next one, though, Shane. If you don't buy the next one, you're not going to win.
Right.
That's right.
That's the winning one. And, everyone knows how pull tabs work. Same science.
Yep. It is definitely a science.
So, no, I was more nervous about, like, I went and got a straight edge shave that morning. I was more
I thought
nervous.
straight edge just in case things went bad.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right.
No idea.
Okay. That's a suicide reference.
Oh, okay.
That's not classy, but we haven't really been that funny recently, so I gotta do
So
something.
I was more nervous about the lady, the pretty lady, slicing my throat.
Yeah.
Than
Was it like she like a trainee? Was this her first shave?
no, but
Okay.
she was.
She had tremors, and that was a little disconcerting.
Forgot her medication this morning.
It was, as you mentioned, on Halloween.
Yeah.
Everyone at that establishment was dressed in costume.
Like a ghoul, or maybe
Right.
she was like strawberry shortcake.
She was dressed like a vampire, but it was just a little weird. And I've never had that done before. I've never had a straight razor shave.
And did you like it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Um,
It's scary to put your life into someone's hands.
yeah.
Like that.
Well, but you do that every day. Driving, you're putting
Yeah,
your
I
life in
suppose.
other people's hands.
But nobody has a razor blade up to my throat when I'm driving down 35W.
they have
Well, you're
a
not doing it right then.
4,000 pound car that they could just
Right.
I got
swerve into.
airbags on all sides, baby.
So no, I was more
laser
nervous
force
about
for you.
that. I was more nervous about flubbing a line.
Yeah.
Or
No
whatever.
lines flubbed, right?
It's okay. No, I was whatever.
Did anybody embarrass themselves? Was there some like weird thing that happened in the weekend of the wedding, or everyone was on their best behavior?
Everyone was really, really nice. Like I guess I was a little nervous about that, especially with the effectively open bar.
Yeah.
No,
No, everyone, maybe if you'd have had this wedding 5 or 10 years ago, you might have a few sloppy drunks in there.
because
but-
our friends
But we were
would've
younger,
been
you know?
younger.
It's just hey, free booze. I got to take advantage of this. So
Yep. We have been to weddings where there was drama before,
that'd
and
be a fun wedding.
not us,
Yeah.
but friends or family or whatever, and we just let it be known to those people that that have done that. It's like
Please don't do
we
that.
have no time for it.
Yeah.
So don't ruin our friendships.
Did you have that conversation with Carrie? Because she's probably the number one culprit in that sort of
Yes,
stuff.
twice.
She gets in the bar and
She
just
needed
does
a
very
reminder?
poor Bon
A little brush
Jovi
up?
renditions.
Nothing. You guys have your conversation. I'll just be over here saying nothing at all.
Push a button.
Oh.
Sound effects. Do it. We need a sound effect now. I see Shane Bitches up there.
It's gonna be tight, y'all.
Classic.
Haven't played that one in a while.
So Adam had his wedding on Friday. He had a gift opening and pizza party.
No,
a pizza party.
we didn't open gifts in front of people on Saturday.
Oh,
Oh,
Smart.
breaking tradition. I
Right.
like it. This guy is unconventional.
We just had people over for pizza
Yeah.
and like we.
I
felt-
would have come,
and
but
show
I'm
up the
telling you,
house.
Adam, I had so much to do. I
That's-
have
okay.
too much to do. I have
still
no more
have-
time.
You guys have still both not been to the house,
I know.
even though I've
Well,
invited you.
this is not a fair invite. I would like a
That's not
personal invite.
It's not
She
true.
wants a personal tour.
Yeah. Like, let's have us over, the six of us.
Isaac came over for the first time last night.
Really?
Yep.
What was that for?
Our bad movie night.
What did we watch?
I've never even heard of this bad movie night.
Jim Cotta and the riff tracks of Battlefield Earth.
We used to do that with Earl Lucas, have a bad movie night. I guess those were just the movies that he picked. So.
Hey-o!
Isaac lives close to you too, doesn't he? Or
Yes,
closer?
yes.
It's that freaking northern side of town, Jared.
I used to live up there, but I don't get there very often anymore.
It's tough to get there.
I grew up on that side of town.
We're all within the loop, though, at least.
We are.
Yeah.
So you had the pizza party.
Mhm.
What kind of, where'd you get the pizza from?
Sarpino's.
Sarpino's delicious.
Yep.
Can't go wrong. And then, let's just pass that because we don't care about that.
Right.
Then we had Scoper Bowl 7, Jared.
Where is it?
So Scoper Bowl 7 happens. Redskins in town again against our Minnesota Vikings. Vikings not playing at the Metrodome this year. They're playing at the Gopher Stadium.
TCF Bank Stadium, University of Minnesota campus.
Tougher to get over there. That's for sure. There's not a lot of great parking. That was a huge issue when they built that stadium. I don't know why they didn't think that out a little bit better. But we all made it. We took the train in and enjoyed a beautiful fall
It was
day.
a really nice day.
It was chilly, but we were in the sun. Great seats.
I got a little bit of a little color on my skin.
Me
from
too as
sitting
well.
outside.
And let's round up the game here. Vikings played a really poor first quarter, a little bit less poor of a second quarter, and then
Sort of
it
took
was,
over.
And then it was a sort of back and forth in the second half. It was a good game, actually,
Yeah.
if you are a football fan.
At some point, there will be a Scoper Bowl 7 audio
Yep.
adventure. We have recorded stuff.
We'll put that out there. We just haven't had time.
I've
to
deleted
busy.
all the source files.
But
Did you record? You didn't even record anything.
Adam was there. Mandy was there. Molly was there. Her boyfriend. We can go on record. What's his name?
Alex.
Alex. Mandy's brother was there.
Mhm.
And some other dude. Was there one other guy there?
There were two other
people that I
Alex's
didn't even
friends.
talk to.
Yeah.
So, your take on this game?
It was a surprisingly good game between two bad teams.
Yep.
And I was disappointed. The Redskins lost maybe partially because they were almost all murdered by Minneapolis police.
Yes, there was a bus accident earlier.
on their way to the stadium in the morning, but we'll never know.
We will never know. Jared, your take?
I think you saw sort of a two ships passing, going different directions in that game. You saw a Washington team that is in steady decline this season, can't figure out who their quarterback is. Their quarterback, who was RG3, who was back, apparently he is aloof, doesn't want to talk to the rest of his team. Or
Is that true?
Acts like a child. Apparently, I don't know that's what the press is saying.
That's
ESPN stands by their reporting.
That's what one report from ESPN said that the Redskins coach called immature and whatever.
Regardless, they've
we'll stick
had
to our
they've admittedly
sources.
had a quarterback shuffle all season.
Well, that's because of injuries.
Injuries and poor performance.
No.
But I think the team is not going to get much better as things go. Now, the Vikings, on the other hand, seem to be sort of figuring it out. Their defense has played really great over the last few weeks. The offense may be very inconsistent still, but maybe figuring it out. And who knows if they may get Adrian Peterson back here for the remainder of the
That's
season.
a whole nother show to debate
Yeah.
that issue.
They're on a bye right now, so we don't know. But he's sort of wrapped up his legal troubles, and now we need to see if the team wants him back, if the league is going to let him back in. So we'll see. But I feel like I don't realistically think they're in playoff contention, but I think they're definitely improving
Jared
throughout the season.
Jared
So,
told me on the record when we went to see the screening of Dumb and Dumber 2 that he fully expects Adrian Peterson to be playing for the Vikings this year. He said, put it on the official record.
and now I didn't say I agreed with it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I expect it to happen.
I don't really see what they
Like,
could do
why?
to not keep.
Why would the PR of it looks bad, and it's not like they're going to make the playoffs.
Well, he's lost.
But they're paying him,
They're
so
paying him.
yeah,
why not get him on the
Yeah.
field?
I guess.
And there might be like players union issues that also go along with that they can't at this point they can't really not have him on the field.
Well,
So
I mean, they can't have him
I don't expect
not
him.
suited up.
sure.
I don't expect him back with the team next year, though. I think he's too expensive, and given his PR struggles now,
And he's a running back over 30.
He is. I mean, he's a great
old man.
He's a great physical specimen, but is the cost of keeping him worth the salary cap issues, and just like you say, PR in general? It's going to be tricky. So we'll see. So Scoper Bowl 8, will that happen anytime soon?
I mean, it'll definitely happen, if not next year, the year after, because the NFC East plays the NFC North again in 2 years.
And do we play them here or there?
It'll depend on where they finish next year.
So it's not locked in?
No.
They sort of flippy floppy those around. Okay, well, Scope fans, we know you love our football talk, but it's over. It's over,
Sorry.
Johnny. So there you go. We caught up with our Scope hosts. Adam had stories to tell. Jared had stories to tell. I had stories to tell.
Just great.
And Adam's not uncomfortable. I think he feels like he's got this whole wedding mess behind him, and we're never going to talk about it again.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So let's take a quick break, Jared,
Yes.
and then we'll be back with more Scope right after this.
Look out for the laser! It's the scope.
Under the scope.
Sorry, Adam, that went long, so no news for you. I'm sorry you put the effort into
Hey,
it.
no news is good news.
Perfect.
That's right.
So step up with coming soon. What's on the agenda for new stuff?
Like a lot of stuff.
Like a lot. We're heading into the holiday shopping season, so that
That's
means
right.
lots of things are getting released.
You got it. First, we've got music. And we've got music from
Hit me.
the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
You ever heard of them?
Have you been watching their HBO show?
No.
I've watched one episode.
I've watched 2.
It's
Well,
very-
4 are out.
It's very pretty. It's deep, isn't it, Jared?
Yeah.
I mean, they really get into music history of the place that they're at. So
Did
it's not a lot of
his,
goofball shit going on there.
Did you watch his documentary movie?
I wanted to, but I've never
Sound
seen
Studio?
it.
Years ago? Yeah.
I bought it. I paid $5 for it.
I like the first half of it, and then
It is sort of two
Yeah.
The Tale of
documentaries.
Two documentaries.
It's sort of a documentary of the studio, and then it's a documentary of the board from the studio being put in Dave Grohl's studio, and then him playing with some of the better known musicians of our era.
I'm gonna go on
But I liked it. I really do, because I love that sort of studio stuff.
I'm gonna make a preposterous statement right now.
Preposterous.
I think that Dave Grohl might go down as the artist of our generation, like the most influential guy, with what he's done and what he continues to do. I mean, you may like his music, you may not like it, but I think what he's been involved in and the relevance that he's been able to maintain, I think that he might be the guy of our generation. That's what
I don't know.
think.
I really liked the Foo Fighters early on, and then they became, I don't know, REM, Pearl Jam. You know, same thing.
You didn't like Wasted Light, their last album?
No.
Really?
No.
I think it was one of their best albums. All right.
Maybe we're biased.
Two
Who
good
knows?
tracks.
Keep going,
Each
Adam.
time. Queen. This is a Queen Forever.
Who is the lead singer of that? Is that Adam Lambert?
Lambert.
Gotcha. I
Adam.
like the foreign
Lambert.
pronunciation.
Nice.
Big Crit. The Birthday
What'd you say?
Massacre.
Big clit?
Crit.
Oh, I thought you said big clit.
Nope.
That's a sexual reference.
It is, isn't it?
The Birthday Massacre. Garth Brooks.
My wife just saw them in concert.
My wife.
My wife and I.
Neo.
Prostitute.
Nick Jonas.
Mm.
I don't know if this is his first solo album. I kind of think it is, though. And Monster Magnets. They
Mm.
just missed the Halloween release.
They're heavy.
time frame.
They're heavy.
Poor timing. Poor timing.
So that's it.
Nice.
I've been getting the Foo Fighters album. I bought it on vinyl.
Nice.
Vinyl.
I did.
Vignelle.
Boy, Adam is into alternate pronunciations of everything today.
Movies. These are theatrical releases.
Theatrical.
We've got Beyond the Lights.
A movie I've had about a half dozen chances to get passes to and denied it every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me.
We've got Saving Christmas. Have you got any passes to that?
I'm only interested if Ernest is involved.
No.
And Ernest is dead, so it would have to be his corpse.
Right.
Well, he already did it, so I'll just watch that.
Come over to our house. We've got it.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
This is a Kirk Cameron.
This would be a miss it.
The movie combines the comedic narrative with educational elements in order to, quote, put the Christ back in Christmas.
Oh my God.
So if you do get passes to that, I'd be up for seeing it.
Everyone gets, in that movie, they get the full season collection of Full House. Or not Full House. Forget it.
It's a very odd tie-in.
Well, his sister was in Full House, so that's fine.
That's
I
true.
suppose, but
And Dumb and Dumber 2.
too many cooks. Too many cooks, Jared. Too many cooks.
Too many cooks.
You guys saw Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yes,
We
we
did.
did.
You want to give us a preview of that?
It's out. The review's out.
Preview of that review?
3 stars.
No, it was 2 1/4.
2 1/4.
right?
2 1/4.
Still surprisingly higher than I was expecting.
As we said, if you like the first, you'll like this
Yeah.
one.
But what if you like the first, but you're also 20 years older or whatever?
That's sort of how we were.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
There, I mean, there were
there
were some genuinely funny moments,
Yeah.
but there also were a lot of things that missed, and there were a lot of things that treaded on the same ground, which I was hoping they could do a little bit more.
Sure.
But I mean, they go for it. I will totally give them credit. They go for it, and I think it could have been a lot
They
worse.
just don't always stick the landing.
Yep, could have been a lot worse.
All right. Home video. We've got How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Is that the
That
same
would be a
as
Christmas present.
home release? Is that
home,
the same?
home
Home
release?
release.
Okay.
Come on, Adam.
Solo home release.
We don't want to have to correct you.
Can I watch these maybe not in my home but somewhere else on a mobile device?
Sure.
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, Jared.
Okay.
So How to Train Your
Fair.
Dragon
He's
2.
a very fair man. Now that he's married, he's very fair.
Fair and honest.
It was strange that we saw the live on-field commercial for How to Train Your Dragon 2
At the Super Scoper Bowl.
at the game, but then the movie didn't come out until 10 days later.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Jersey Boys,
Maybe because they had a buy. I don't know. That's really
Yeah.
strange.
Jersey Boys, Tammy, Let's Be Cops.
Saw that.
Saw that. Falls apart in the third act.
Yeah, I like those guys.
It falls
I feel
apart.
I
like,
like the guys.
Yeah.
I feel like those guys.
That
are some
movie
fun
needed
together.
to be absurdist all the way through, and there needed to be no sense of anything serious in it. That's
Absurd comedies that try to take a serious turn in the third act are just,
Yeah.
it's really hard to pull off.
Dirk. What's his name?
Dirk
Diggle-
Diggler.
Diggler, whatever his name is,
What do you-
or the guy that was in Dumb and Dumber 2 that we said is in every
Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle. Rob Riggle in Let's Be Cops as well. Jared.
He is.
All right.
He's in
Oh,
everything.
my father's calling me.
I was gonna say, what do you think those guys feel about the new Girl intro? But
I think it's lame,
we can
but
move beyond that.
a lot of people like it.
Why would you do it in episode like 6? It's weird.
Mood Indigo is a French movie. I don't know. Happy Christmas, an Anna Kendrick movie that came out in July is also out. Anna Kendrick's Pretty Lady, so wanted to mention that.
How do you feel about Into the Woods? Will you put up with the singing?
I'm not
to see
sure
Anna
about
Kendrick?
that.
I don't know if I have to put up with the singing because I really like her. What kind of singing is it?
There's a lot of like theatrical singing.
I don't know if I like that.
It's not
It's
not pitch perfect too.
No.
Sorry. They're not singing pop hits rearranged for a cappella.
All right, we got video games, Shane. So you better pay attention. I don't want you to interrupt me after I say this first one. So first, we've got Assassin's Creed Rogue
Not getting that one.
for the PS3 and Xbox 360. Moving on, Halo: The Master Chief Collection for the Xbox
That one I'm
One.
tempted. I'm tempted by
It's
that
the
one.
first 4 Halo games.
With the super remaster of the second.
Yes, and all the multiplayer is supposed to play just like they did originally. I don't know. People are excited about that.
Mhm.
Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham for every system.
You might-
Terraria.
Just wait on that. If you like the Lego games, wait till they go down in
all right.
price.
Terraria.
Really? That's been on PC for years.
Yes, this is the PS4 and Xbox One release. They've been on 360 and
Okay.
PS3 for a long time. Tropico 5. Pro Evo Soccer 2015.
Mm-hmm.
If you need your footy fix,
Footy.
the most beautiful game.
It is.
And not the last one, but the last one I'll mention for now. World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor.
So everything's a sequel, essentially.
Speaking of sequels, we've got one more to mention here.
Wow. I'm not used to you setting up. This is a really Adam taking charge of the show.
I love it. Married Adam is in charge.
Hit of the week. Hit it or miss it. Miss of the week. Look out!
Adam?
Yes, my hit it for the week
Mhm.
is Assassin's Creed Unity. The latest
Are you getting this?
Assassin's Creed game. Of course I'm getting it.
Wait, wasn't there just another Assassin's Creed Rouge?
So, Assassin's Creed
Rogue.
Assassin's Creed Rouge is only for
Yeah.
the old console.
Yeah, and that's sponsored by Maybelline.
Yes.
Got it.
Assassin's Creed Unity, not built in the Unity development environment. Confusing. It is the.
So now we got to get this game too.
Yep. Assassin's Creed Unity. It is the first new.
We can play together.
Console generation.
Just like we played all this Call of Duty together.
Hey, I've been playing it nonstop.
I've been playing it too. I'm like a level.
we haven't been.
gotta join
PS4.
Have you heard of this game called Minecraft?
party stuff? It's very. It's.
I miss the
bizarre.
X. You need to buy Xbox One so we can
No,
do
I'm not
everything.
$50 cheaper.
Not doing that.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna talk to Mandy.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Okay, I really liked Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah,
All the pirate stuff was really
it was
great.
fun.
Assassin's
I
Creed
like
3 was
when Adam
terrible.
says it's just Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
I really want it to be a little black girl one of these times, and she's the Assassin Creed.
Nice.
So yeah, this is the first one built.
Are we ever going to get an Apollo Creed game?
Assassin's Creed : Apollo's
Creed.
Redemption. Yeah, first one built for the new consoles specifically. I bet that Assassin's Creed Rogue comes out for the new consoles in next in 6 months or something.
So just wait for it.
$20 whatever download only. But yeah, like I was.
This
really
game
excited.
looks impressive.
Yeah, and
you can do sort of this free roaming business where you're working together in teams.
Yeah, it's supposed to incentivize you to do those.
By the way, Target's got a buy
All
two
right.
get one free next week for all video games.
Best Buy's Gamers Club deal is still better. Did you get that?
I do get it.
You already have it.
I'm in it.
Did
yeah.
you see their new deal with it?
Yeah, $10. What's the new deal?
I mean, you get it for $30.
Oh yeah, but I have it for like another year.
Okay, so you don't need it.
Gotcha.
So I signed up for it. I get $20 off or 20% off all the games now.
Under the scope.
All right, Jared. We get where you're coming from. I feels you. By the way, I've got so many great names for this show. I do like this idea of Assassin's Creed.
Combine them all together.
It's the longest title ever. Jared,
Doesn't
comments, go.
We got our first video comment from a young chap named the Great Luke Ski. Have you heard of this guy?
This is called a vomit.
I've heard of Luke Ski, but not a great. That's pushing it.
He's a great. I'm going to play it for you here.
Here it is.
He's
Watch
a great.
it. He's a great. My life.
Is this going to be on YouTube?
I'm going
Uh-oh.
to lower the music here. I'm going to play this. I'll
Hey,
edit it
the
in.
Scope,
there
this
he is.
Luke Ski calling in with a video comment for you about the Scope making my dreams come true. Back when I was a kid, 1982, my sister's friend lent us an album called Just for Laughs. It was a K-Tel compilation that had a bunch of comedy songs heard on mainstream radio at the time, and significantly, it was the first time I had ever heard anything by Weird Al Yankovic. It contained the original bathroom recording of My Bologna, as well as the Dr. Demento air recording of Another One Rides the Bus. It was the first time I heard a whole bunch of comedy songs, aimed at adults that really made me feel like, this means something. This is important. I never actually owned a copy of that album. It was borrowed from a family friend. A few years ago, I decided I wanted to try to hunt down this LP, and every few months I would go on searches through, Amazon, eBay, Google, whatever, trying to find some place where I could find this album for sale. I could never find it for sale anywhere. When I was promoting FunkFest, hitting every record store in the Chicagoland area to put up flyers and stuff, I checked all of their comedy bins and compilation bins, could not find it anywhere. I recently did a search on Google again, and a few pages deep, I found an entry at a website for the one and only
Ron Boogie Monster Gerber.
He brings it home.
From Crap from the Past, and lo and behold, he had played Valley Girl by Frank Zappa on the show and listed the Just for Laughs album. So I contacted him and said, hey, my name's Luke Ski, a frequent commenter on The Scope, occasional guest there. Told him the whole backstory I just told you about that album, asking him, does he own that album himself? And if so, would he be willing to sell it to me, because it would mean the world to me to have a copy of this LP. And he got back to me, and lo and behold, he did. Here it is right here, Just for Laughs, 1982.
We did it.
K-Tel
We did it.
Records,
Bringing the world together.
One of the earliest rarities listed on Weird Al's page of comedy music memorabilia. An incredible collection of comedy music of the early 80s. And I have been wanting to get this so I can not only rip it to MP3 and have all these versions of these songs for myself, but also so I can get Dr. Demento and Weird Al to autograph it the next time I see them in person and hang it on the wall next to albums like this one right here. Dr. Demento presents the greatest hits of the 80s, which I've already had Dr. Demento autograph. But I am so incredibly happy to finally own my own copy of Just for Laughs, which all happened thanks to the generosity of Ron Boogie Monster Gerber
and
my connections to The Scope. So thank you to The Scope for helping make one of my dreams come true. This has been Luke Ski. See you later.
We're just like Oprah, aren't we?
I tacked that bit on there.
Oh, I like that. You know what I would like to see Luke do in his next video? Have some crazy stuff in the background going on. Even like, I was hoping like the guy from the Scream movies just would be in his window standing there. Stuff like that. Let's make it a production, Luke. Thank you for your video comment. By the way.
That was nice.
That was a great, nice story.
So yeah, a little longer comment, but I think the story is worth it. Worth the time.
It pays off.
Yeah. So we helped Luke realize a dream. How does that feel?
Feels good. I'm not going to lie.
We did it.
Feels good.
Wow,
We did it.
Feels good.
This will be our last episode of The Scope because we've finally done something good for someone else.
Yep, that's it. Shut it down.
Good.
This is our whole
We paid it.
Our show's been leading up to this.
Yeah.
And
We would have
paid it forward.
We would have stopped with episode 2 if we could have done something nice for someone, but that was our secret Assassin's Creed right
Secret
there.
shame.
if you'd like to see the show continue and you have a secret wish you need fulfilled, and only the Scope can help you out, you can write us at comments@thescopeshow.com. You can call the voicemail line at 612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673. Or you can get in touch with us at Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter. All those links are at our website at thescopeshow.com. But you can support the show, too.
Yes, you can.
Blah, blah, blah. Patreon. It's a service we use. Patreon.com/thescopeshow. You can directly support content creators. You can pledge as little as $1 a month. Set a monthly cap. Cancel anytime. But
It's important.
More importantly, you feel good. Feel good that you're getting a little back for all the free entertainment we give you.
Yeah. We got a blizzard coming our way.
We do. We need to buy
Help
salt
us.
and snow. We probably need to hire crews to bail out elderly people because, as you know, we're the show that makes dreams come true.
Jared needs a snowblower. You heard it.
I do.
He needs a snowblower.
I know mine broke last year. You can also support us by shopping at Amazon. Go to thescopeshow.com/Amazon. There's a link there to our. If you click on it, we get a little kickback via Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything else. It's a good thing. Help out the show. Help us pay our bills. That's all I got. Shane, back to you.
God, Jared, what a show, guys. We have covered a lot of ground today.
The long one.
Way too much ground. So why don't we just say it was fun, and we'll do it again next week.
Okay.
Let's say that.
I think I can fit you in.
All right, terrific. So let's wrap it up. Adam, Jared, I'm Shane. Fans, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. Days shall pass as if they were but a moment. And Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode. Until then, send your comments to comments@thescopeshow.com or leave a voicemail message by dialing
612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673.
Thanks for listening, faithful fans. This is Tony Partington saying hasta mañana. Tune in next time to another terrific edition of The Scope.